what's up?
We're back.
We are back.
Yeah.
After
maybe about 17 or so decades. It's been a while, but we just thought that after everything that's gone on in the world, it continuing to move around the sun, that we should,
take a break.
yeah, and then after that break, come back, So,
Take a break after 4 episodes.
hey, listen, the best people always have downfalls, but it's not about how down you fall. Wait, it's not about how fall you, it's not about that. It's about getting back up. So
What do you want to say about downfall?
So guys, welcome back to the Bruh Podcast, where we say bruh, and that's what we say. And we are hoping you guys had a wonderful Christmas break and everything in between. Not that, we haven't been gone since long before that. But anyhow, Sean, how have you been these last few months, brother? It's been a while.
That's actually a question which I don't know the answer. I've been good, actually. I took a break, a pretty long break after actually December. Didn't do much. I was literally chilling. And yeah, I was just doing the things which I like, doing a lot of barbecues. You know that.
This guy and his barbecues, you see what he cooks, bro.
Yeah. Doing a lot of barbecues. Went for camping, actually. And then what I did. Yeah, and here then just doing photography. Went for hiking today also. Just came back from a hike. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and next week is a surprise for you, because I won't be here in town.
You won't be here? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, of course, because talk about where you're going to be going, Shahan, next week. Talk about, the event. Talk about how excited you are. Yeah.
Actually, so I'm going to the Sundance Film Festival next week. I've been really excited. It's in Park City. Salt Lake City, in Utah. I actually had planned to go there last year, but I couldn't go due to they actually had the program in online from in person, so it wouldn't make sense for me to go anyway. So, but now I actually had some filmmakers who were planning to submit films there, and I wanted to see those films too. And eventually, I got the opportunity to actually go there and be there in person. So yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, the thing with Sundance is, I remember when I was first getting into filmmaking, and one of the first questions you have as a new filmmaker is, how do I put my name out there?
Sure.
And one of the first answers you get is film festivals, and then after that first answer was like, well, what are the biggest film festivals? The first answer you hear is Sundance, especially for new filmmakers. Well, not necessarily new filmmakers, but amateur, independent, exactly. Yeah. Sundance is really that film festival that has its name in the States for being able to really progress, really just catapult, young people's careers and older ones as well. And, it's definitely one of the more prestigious, if not the most prestigious American film festival. Yeah. So I'm excited to hopefully one day attend Sundance. Hopefully one day, maybe get a short in there. We'll see. But it's cool.
I think I don't think so. It would be the most prestigious in the world, but I think for America, I think it would be the most prestigious, because I think from Canada it's stiff. Then it's from, if you go towards the European side, it's gone. But the funny thing about the schedule, which I was seeing right now, is they have 6 world premieres of some films which are really famous, actually. Features. Exactly. And I'm actually I would probably be 90% seeing all the features. I'm not seeing a lot of shots. I might go for one program of shot, but I was more into looking features. So.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. And that's the other thing with those big film festivals, because they have both, the very established filmmakers that have their long features, and then also the short filmmakers who have, again, these very, very talented people in their entire team, whether it's the directors, the actors, every member of the crew, and the films that you see from that caliber, from Tribeca, from all of those, like they stay around. They stick around for a long time, and they I think they really influence a lot of other young filmmakers later on. But it's not the only way, obviously. But it's definitely a very intriguing industry. The film festival whole setup there.
Yeah.
So yeah, very true.
I actually worked on like a couple of them last year.
Couple of
Film festivals.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a crazy thing. I won't tell the name of that specific film festival, but the thing was, it was a TCL theater, so it was
Chinese.
yeah, Chinese theater, yeah, and it was the well established. It's probably one of the best in LA, and I was kind of in the admin part of it, so like ticketing, all that stuff, look screening, pre-screening, so just watching over if the screening is going well, if we have some issues in the screening room, so. I will sometimes get a theater on myself just to watch the film. So one time actually, but the funny thing was, people who actually bought the $150 pass compared to people who were buying $30 passes, right? Like
The daily versus
exactly, we're actually getting the same thing. Like some people are like were paying for just one screening, but actually we didn't have a way to check them that it was for that episode and for the entire day. And so once you enter the screening room, right? Once you're inside the DCL backstage, you can literally stay entire day. Pay $30 compared to people who are like paying. Some of them paid like $750 for that was a weekly pass. But if you pay like a day pass, $150 for unlimited screening, we didn't have a catch. So I mean that was. So I was actually talking to one of the girl who was working with admitting this. She said that we know that, but until you see the box office is coming, because we had a real time box office, so it was showing the amount going up, making good money. Like I think at that moment it was like $35,000 on the box office. It was good money. So, but she said that we know that we can't catch them, but it's coming up. So. But wouldn't happen with all of them. Like,
yeah. No, that's very interesting that there are people who can find a way to sneak their way there. Yeah, that's so.
And I'm showing how to open it.
He's revealing the secrets, guys. But that's very, very cool. I mean, we also even had our own, not film festival, but our own screening for our class, and that was a lot of fun. We've been working for the past. Well, really few months on almost a year exactly on our intermediate films at film school, and it's been very rewarding to see them on the big screen and still do little working on them, and hopefully I think for both of us are planning on sending them to film festivals as well. So it should be a fun little journey that we're going to be on. Yeah. That was very cool. One thing I was just thinking of, like. One reason I love this podcast, we're outside. It's so nice. Just before we started filming, there's a kid over there. Do you remember? I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name.
Jack. Let's name him Jack. If you don't know the name a kid Jack.
Okay, cool.
Always works.
Okay. He's you. Oh well, let's backtrack. He was over there playing football. Oh, for you Americans, soccer. And he was training. He was doing his own thing. And I went to play with him a little bit and got to know him, and he's playing semi-professional right now, and it's very cool to just meet people around, especially in a city that you're not necessarily from, but also because I'm a big football fan. It was interesting. He's a Juventus fan. For any Juventus fans who find their way to this, sorry that you guys are Juventus fans for now, not doing very well, but anyhow. Yeah, that's one reason I love this podcast. It's just so nice, peaceful outside. You meet people. It's great. He's still over there playing. What a guy. He's going to make it big, I'm sure of it.
For one thing, I was just discussing with a friend, I love LA for the landscape it has. I mean, today the weather was incredible. Like, I'm saying, beautiful weather, right? We went for hiking. All around, it looked beautiful. And one thing I was curious from your side was you went to Portugal. Actually, you played football, and more than football, what I'm more interested about is the change in culture you experienced there, and like the lifestyle you had, because you stayed for a quite bit of time. So take us over from the start to the big to the end. Come on.
Sure. Yeah, I lived in Portugal for about half a year in 2018. Definitely a very formative year in my life. If that didn't happen, I would be a very different person today. But oh yeah, I mean, so much huge growth came from that. It was the first time I left home, in a big general sense of of moving out. And I was 18. My parents, they loved the idea that I was fulfilling dreams, but also maybe weren't so ready for the big move as well, because again, I was just 18. But
Sam started drinking at that age.
I did not, because I never have started. But anyhow, and like, what's so interesting, and I guess one of the big things that I really realized, as you're kind of pointing to, Sean, is that changing culture. Because when you live in one country your whole life, sure, you understand that there are other cultures. We're in a social media age. We understand these things. But when you actually live within it, that's when your mind actually does a little pivot. There's a saying I've heard that the more languages that you know, the more knowledge you have. And even though I still, I didn't necessarily retain all of Portuguese, the idea behind that is that the more places you go, the more different schools of thought, because every language is a different school of thought, the more places that you indulge in their culture, the more you'll understand about everything, about the people around you, about yourself, about everything. And, for me, being there, knowing that, God put me there for a purpose. It was very interesting to experience all that I experienced from a completely different lens. It was a very special time.
Right. So I want to know more about like a first person view. So let's suppose I'll take you back. So first day, you land in Portugal.
Okay.
You land up. You took your bag from the baggage claim, and you walk out. Now what's happening?
I remember that day pretty well. Got all my stuff.
Tell me the weather, how people, everything.
Yeah, I'll try. So, when I got there, it was sunny, nice and warm. And I was there with a lot of my mental state at that time. Not that it's worse now; it's great. But my mental state at that time was sharp, very focused, because it was this huge shift. But because I was there to play football, like that was the singular purpose in that sense, in the vocational sense. Whew, my mind was there. And once I landed, like, it was as if I turned into a new person, even almost instantaneously. And so, I still remember this very well. In football, when there's the two teams, like, they shake hands, they say hi to each other before the game starts, they usually pass a little token, which has like their club or their country's flag. Right. And so I actually had a token, which was given to me by my club back in Canada, and I gave it to, who knows, maybe I'll even find the photo and we'll put it on the video as well. Hopefully I can find that photo. But I gave it to the agent who I was connected with there in Portugal. And it was just this, for me, I was like, wow, this is really it. Like, I'm really here, really doing this. And, after I gave him that flag, I remember we went to eat at this restaurant. Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. But I remember we went and we ate at this restaurant, beautiful restaurant, and the food. At that point, I knew I was in for some different food. Yeah. If you ever get the chance to go to Portugal, go there just for the food. Seriously, it's that good.
And that's actually because you're such a picky eater. I know. Like, whenever you go...
Hey, to clear the record, there are some things I don't like because my taste buds are elevated. No. They're higher than maybe other people's. But I'm not over it.
Have you actually watched The Green Book? The film. Okay, so the second lead character is his name is Don Shirley, bro. Like, whenever I watch that film, it's one of my favorite films. It's based. Did we talk about that? It's actually Yeah, but you know that it won best screenplay. It's based on an actual character, Tony Villalonga, and a pianist, a session pianist whose name was Don Shirley, who actually go all around the South and the West of United States in the era where there was harsh discrimination against African Americans. And so basically Tony is kind of like the safeguarding him and taking care of that person. And Don Shirley's character is actually, whenever I see that film, it always reminds me of you, because the way he talks, the way he like eats, like it's like, no, my hand will get dirty, no, this will have, no, this is too much, this is too less. So it's like going out with Sam is like, you have to be just, I mean, if you're going out with a girlfriend, you're going out with Sam. Your girlfriend is easier. If you're on a first date, it's easier than going out with Sam because he's.
I'm not going to take this slander. First of all, for the record, I have no idea what this man is talking about. And also for the record, to defend myself, my dignity, Shahan, going out with you is are we still going? Yeah, we're still running. Okay. Going out with you almost never happens because you cancel every time. The amount of times we've tried to film a podcast episode, he says, "Can't do it right now. Can we do it later?"
I give you options. No, I never. I mean, this one.
Oh my gosh.
I always give you options. Like, can we do it early? Do you want to do it after? I just give. But if he says that no, we have to do it at 7:30, I say, okay, cool, we'll do it at 7:30. I mean.
And then you say, actually, can we do it at 7? And then 10 minutes later, okay, fine, okay, yeah, we can actually do it at 7:30. Anyhow,
this guy's too much. Okay, so what? Tell me something about the food. You have eaten our food, my food.
Yes.
It's
great.
Is it similar to our food? About the spices.
As in Pakistani food?
I'm glad you didn't say Indian food.
No, I wouldn't say so. Different. And I've loved everything that you've made. But yeah,
I'm a good cook.
Okay. But yeah, Portuguese food is very good. And the thing is, Portuguese food is like, they borrow from a lot of different cultures, but they make it better, which is just like, for me, it's like, wow, that really impressed me. Their potatoes, outstanding. Everything they do with the rice, outstanding. Pasta, outstanding. Like, it's just all really, really good. They season it very well, and their bakeries. Whew.
Oh my god! I mean, you know how big of a sucker I am for bakeries and like sweets. Oh my god! Like the thing is, like, even if I try to not eat something sweet, I have to eventually at night. I have to go out something and eat like a croissant, a chocolate croissant, or like a donut, which is, I'm trying to get rid of that habit. I don't know, but it's really difficult. Like, even like my housemate, she actually she went to her hometown, and she knows how much I like chocolate. Yeah. She brought a huge pack of chocolates, and for me, next day, my house owner, she was at her sister's home, and she brought like another pack of chocolates. So yeah, I've been like living on them, and then just going out to eat donuts every day. Actually, a lot, bro. But the big news: Yole left.
Oh man, Yole, we love you. Rest in peace. No, actually, you're not dead. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's just I'll miss that guy, man. Going back to India, right? Where in India is he from again?
Pune.
Sorry?
He's from Pune.
You have to say it one more time for me.
Pune.
Yeah. Pune. Shout out to Pune, India. Yeah.
You know you know the other person who is from that city?
Who?
I'll tell you after the podcast.
Okay. This guy's a troublemaker. Anyhow, yeah, Yola is a good friend, man. Yeah, we should have tried to get, maybe if he ever visits back LA, we'll have to get him on the podcast. Yeah.
Sweet dude. Like, the thing about him is super good dude. Great with every other person, and like obviously he's a bit dumb, and he knows that. Like, and like he makes some bad decisions, but like just generally, but he has a great mentality, a great heart. What? Why are you laughing? I'm just telling the truth. He knows that. He's
Yo, get him back for this, bro. When you see this, get him back, okay?
but yeah, but we
See how he just slanders everyone? Me,
but we all will like miss him, like really miss him, because I think he was our integral part of our kind of like the NIFA community we had, like for us actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, very, very good friend. Saw him on many different sets. Saw him at school sometimes, and he was a man of many trades. It's funny because when I first met,
Screenwriter,
or he is,
actually.
yeah. Well, when I first met him, like on set, I think he was doing AC work or grip work or something. So I assumed he was a filmmaker. And then next set, he's script soup, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then next set, I asked him, I'm like, oh, what program are you in? I'm in the screenwriting program. I'm like, wait, what? Like, so he does like so many things in film, and that's like, yeah, he's a very humble guy who really, yeah, like he lends his hand to anything, and he just does it with joy, which is very nice. So yes, brother, we will miss you until we see you again, brother. Until you visit us again.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we all have said, that you have to come back and join us. But yeah, it was a fun trip yesterday. We went to drop him to the airport. Got emotional. All of them was like, especially like it is a such, because he has, obviously he was really close to him. Even they both were like literally crying for like almost 35 minutes, which for me, and I was just like literally getting teared up just by looking at them. Obviously, like, but it was like, then I figured out, like, I just thought, like, I mean, it's literally three dudes and literally crying for one person. It's like so weird. And he's like literally just leaving, and he's obviously he might be able to come back, or he will come back, but it's just like the emotion, like I think it's pure, like it's because it's we are so we all are so transparent to each other, like. And when I see, and I feel blessed with having these kind of people around, right? Like when you see such so much pure love, which is like you don't have anything to do except just have that relation, right? It's nothing. It's not a work relation. It's not a. It's just
advantage or whatever. Yeah, it's not like for some advantage or something. Is what I said.
Yeah, I mean that is what just makes it kind of so interesting. Like when yeah, what do you think about like having that kind, because I think it's difficult to have that kind of relation in a country which is kind of not local to you. What do you think about that? Because I think you might be able to have been to two different countries.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing when you find people that are, well, three now actually: America, Portugal, and Canada. Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
No worries. I'll continue until he gets better. Are you good? You good? You good to go?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So yeah, the thing with like when you find people who have like interests or like backgrounds, so sure. It's this one, right? This side, yeah. Who have, yeah, whether it's liked interest or liked or likened background, likened, whatever it is. When you find that common ground, it's definitely easier to form, deep relationships with people, and they don't have to all be, and they won't all be from the same background, culture, belief as obviously we are a great testament to, but like yeah, I think oftentimes if there's even just one thing that kind of connects, then you just build off of that. And again, if both people are genuine, then yeah, it can form true friendships that last. And yeah, no, it's definitely sorry, excuse me, definitely a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to add some ending notes to today's podcast. I think yeah, and it was actually what you said is absolutely right, because it doesn't have to be same culture, it doesn't have to be same language, it just has to connect to a humanity level, right? Like just like knowing you, we have like a totally different background, but I understand you, you probably understand me, and I know like which spaces makes you uncomfortable, which space makes you comfortable, and it's just like, and when we talk, we it's I can talk without any limit, knowing for the fact even about you, knowing for the fact even if he gets offended, it will be like we'll probably like enjoy a good laugh out of it, and it's same for me. So yeah, what do you have your ending notes so we're literally 5% on the battery.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I agree. It's beautiful how people connect, and it's I think it's actually, yeah, it's true. It's a great point to end on because like even in terms of this podcast, like we have this shared love of filmmaking that obviously brings us together, and obviously those differences they don't matter. We're able to connect and then connect deeper and connect. It's not about filmmaking. It's about the true agape love that is between brothers and sisters and whatnot. And so yeah, in fact, I'm excited because I'm sure maybe in a couple of weeks we'll dive deeper into ideas such as friendship, brotherhood, and beyond. Some little teaser for y'all for next time. But yeah, it's yeah, those blessed relationships, and shout out to Yole. They're special. Without them, humans aren't humans. So yeah.
I totally agree. And agape, you said agape, right? What does that mean? Because I love that score from Nicholas Brittle in the film. Which film is that? Beale Street. If Beale Street could talk, agape is one of the names. What does it mean?
So agape is a term. I'm not sure exactly where it originated from, but it's gained its popularity from the Bible, and the idea of agape love, as opposed to like familial love or what's the word I'm looking for? Romantic love, is that agape is the love that God gives to his people. So it's this idea of greater love, deeper love in a general sense that permeates through all iniquity, through all, sin, through all impurities, and says, I love you for who you are, and that's that type of thing. It's a deeper connection. Yeah.
On this note, we would like to end the podcast and what do you say, Sam, at the end? Love and peace.
Bruh.
Yeah. Okay, see you guys next episode. We have to do next week, bruh.